My privilege to announce the winner of the American Baking Competition, and it is Brian.
How about that? There you have it, everybody. It's our pleasure to welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, the winner of the American Baking Competition, Brian Emmett, into our Low Country Live kitchen. And Brian, you brought in one of your favorite recipes.
Yeah.
This looks absolutely delicious. It smells even better. What do we got going on today?
This is a Stromboli. It's a kind of a braided bread, almost like a turnover type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's layered with meats, herbs, cheeses. And what's really nice about this is you can customize it to whatever you like, whatever herbs you like, spices. And this is great for the up-and-coming New Year's Eve.
And
so
we're
this is a great
gonna
recipe.
put one together right now?
We are. We got the dough. We did the dough. We pre-did that already.
Sure.
So that's already done. So I want to lay some flour down here. I'm just going to show you how we make the dough.
And you can get one of these doughs at like any kind of grocery store too. I
know,
just started making pizza the other day.
Absolutely. You know, you can do it. I make my own, obviously,
Sure.
from yeast and everything, but you can definitely buy, you know, I even say when you make pies, you could buy the pies that are already done or the pie crusts that are done, because it saves you time and, you know, it can save you some money too.
Well, I got to ask you about this show a little bit, an amateur baking show. And
Sure.
of course, you took the title home. We just saw that. How'd you get into baking in the first place?
Well, you know what? I baked with my mom and my grandmother since I was a little kid,
Yeah.
and you know, I just have a passion for it. I'm in advertising, but it's just baking and cooking to me is, you know, way of life.
It's a fun thing to do too.
Yeah,
and then you
absolutely.
get to eat your rewards, which is always a great
Yes.
thing.
So what you want to do is you want to roll this out into kind of like a rectangle, because
Okay.
you can see the finished product there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start laying on the meats and the cheeses. I love smoked cheese, like smoked mozzarella.
Sure.
So that's what this is. So you're basically going to layer it on. And then we'll get some meat.
You got some salami in there? That was going on
Got
there?
some salami. You
Okay.
could use capicola. You could use, you know, something spicy.
Pepperoni, whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes this really great. And then you want to take some fresh basil. You kind of want to throw it on there. And then what you're going to do to get the braided look is you're going to just make little notches like that.
Kind of score in the sides a little bit.
On either side. So you're going to take it like that. For the sake of time, I'll just show you how I braid it.
So you got to peel all those individual parts.
Yep. And see, so you're going to do that, and you're going to kind of fold the edges in. Like that. Like that. So you go all the way down, and then what's really nice is you can see some of the filling inside kind of like that.
That
And then-
looks absolutely delicious.
Thank you very much. And then you're going to take some fresh herbs. This is garlic and cherry tomatoes that I've cut in half.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take some olive oil, and you're going to dump that in there. I like spicy.
Put a little spice in there.
So we're going to let's put a lot in there.
We'll put a lot in there.
Yeah, so you do that. And then obviously this is going to be folded all the way over. And then you take this, before you bake it in a 375-degree oven, you just layer all this on top.
So you put that in there while you bake it.
Yes.
That
So
doesn't
all
go in
this
there.
all
Okay.
this gets baked down, and you can see it gets nice and caramelized, and the tomatoes actually burst. So you get all that
Oh, wow.
flavor. Yeah.
So you kind of dry those out a little bit. That looks
Yep.
really, really tasty. And so how long does that have to cook in the oven here?
This cooks for about 45 minutes at 375, and it gets nice and brown. And then what I do when it's done, I brush it with a little bit more olive oil just to give it a nice, you know, sheen and texture to it.
Yeah, yeah. So all it would take was just a brush and just go like that right over the top of it.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, really great for the holidays because you can make it and then have it cold, because this is actually a cold one.
Oh, okay.
And I love to make my homemade marinara, dunk it in there. It's perfect.
And it's going to feed a whole bunch of people, too.
Absolutely. Look at this. I mean, this is going to feed the whole crew.
Brian, start to finish, what do you think time-wise if you want to do this and getting ready for tomorrow night? Say about a half hour, 45 minutes?
You know, if you have dough already, I would say probably about 45, I would say about an hour to cook and prepare it. But if you're going to be making your dough, the dough is going to take about an hour to rise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell me about your life now that the show's over. You won that competition. What are you doing now? You're going all over the country, right?
Sure, yeah. I'm doing shows like this all over the country. I'm doing some lectures on how I won and I don't know if you did see on the thing, but I hurt myself when I first got
I
out
saw
of the
you were on
competition.
crutches there, and now you're
Crutches.
not. So what happened?
Yeah, crutches and a brace. We went to do promo shots up in the tent where we were baking, and I fell and I tripped. And I fractured my ankle, and I severed tendons in my leg. So it was kind of a nightmare. I almost didn't compete.
Sure.
So thank God,
Wow.
thank God I did, right?
That promo department, I tell you.
Yeah.
they're always doing something no good. You got a cookbook that's coming
Yes,
up
I have
too,
a
right?
cookbook
All these
deal.
recipes going to be in a great cookbook.
Yes, actually, this recipe is going to be in the book.
Oh, wow.
So that's a great thing, and I'm working on a book with Sarah Mastrako. She's chef to Martha Stewart. She's worked with Bobby Flay. She's worked with some of the high-end culinary people. So.
Cool. Well, how has your life changed since you won this competition?
Oh wow, definitely. It's I mean, the competition with stressful, but my life has totally turned in a different direction.
Can Jeff Foxworthy, can he bake? Does he have any kind of baking
Jeff
knowledge?
Foxworthy, I don't think can bake.
No, it's just a TV guy. I understand that. Tell about some of your other favorite recipes that are going to be in the book, or maybe
Sure.
on a website or something like
Sure,
that.
I'm going to have macaroons, which are those like sandwich cookies.
Yeah.
Those are going to be in there. Some of my favorite pies, chocolate bourbon pecan pie is going to be in there. Just some regular pizzas, a New York style. You know, one of the things on the show that I did, because people think that baking is all just sweets. It's not,
Right.
because this is a bake and this is savory.
I guess
So
you're right.
I really like sweet and savory. One of the things that I did in the show, I made a French onion tarte tatin.
Yum.
And usually that's with apples or pears, and I did it savory. So I made it, and it tasted like French onion soup. That's going to be in the book.
I want that recipe
Yes.
right now, too.
That's delicious. So like I said, it's going to be a lot of these recipes and a lot of family recipes and recipes that I came up with, some that were on the show as well.
Good, good, good. Well, where can we get that book when it comes out or learn more information about you?
That you can go on to www.brianemmettbake.com. And I have Twitter, I have Facebook, and I update it regularly. So
Awesome. Well, Brian, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for coming
Thank
down
you
here.
very much.
We're going to dig into that in just 1 second, but coming up on the other side of this break, we'll have more Low Country Live, so make sure you stay with us with some kids' tips on staying safe online. Stay with us.